Welcome to Round 1, the show where we play just the beginning of a game to give you a taste of what it's like. Today, we play Nova Aetas Renaissance and set out on a mythical adventure set against a fantasy backdrop of historical events and warfare between Rome and Venice in the 16th century. We'll wage battles with all manner of foes, investigate rumors, and follow leads as we make our way through Blind Fury, a scenario built specifically to showcase what this game has to offer. Then we invite you to join us after the dust is settled as we discuss the whole experience and see if we found victory or defeat. Welcome back to the table. We have the game set up right here. Now, I'll tell you this is not anything you'll find in the actual game. This is a scenario that was made exclusively for reviewers and people doing videos so as to not spoil the game for you, but you'll get an idea of what the game has to offer. And to that end, we're not going to play just the first round. There is no rounds to this game. So we're going to play a little bit here and there. We're going to show you some combat. We're going to do a little bit more, but we're going to be fast forwarding through some of those portions. And then we'll talk about the whole experience at the end.
And speaking of what this game has to offer, it is immense. There are 26 missions in this game, and there's 6 different endings. So depending upon the choices that you make in the game are going to depend on the outcome. And that means that this is kind of a pseudo RPG, but it's not. It's a board game. Yeah. Absolutely a board game, but there's a lot of mechanics here that kind of represent what it is to, delve into a deeper RPG. The whole thing focuses around this, though. This is the crux of the game, because everything that you do in this game revolves time. Your time management, your ability to take your actions in a certain amount of time, and the enemies also are going to spend their time to be able to do actions, because every mission is framed around time. We are going to start at 12 o'clock, and we have to complete our mission by 4 o'clock, which is all represented on this.
Yeah, and I noticed Jeremy hasn't named what it is, because it is a mouthful. And it is the horologium, or a horologium.
Yep.
And like he said, this is going to be a system of not only tracking the time, but also initiative, how characters are going to operate. Here's the 4 of us. Here are the 2 enemies that are going to be here in the first part of the scenario. But it's also going to just keep going the entire time. Even when you're out of combat, everything you do is tracked on this. So like he said, 12 to 4 is the time we have. And believe me, there's a lot more in this scenario than just this tile right here.
Right. And we'll break that out as we start to discover what is inside this deck. This specific mission is called Blind Fury, and as David already alluded to, it was made specifically for this video, so you're not going to be spoiled with anything. David, you want to start us off and tell us what we're up against, and then we can kind of go around the table and say who we are.
Yeah, so I'm going to read this. Well, this is just the components list, so I'm not going to read that. But Blind Fury, this is the first card. A papal messenger comes to your barracks. He asks you to go urgently to Fidene, northeast of Rome, where a beast seems to have gone mad and could reach nearby houses if it is not stopped in time. Once in the area, you can get more information at the Shepherd's Inn. Spoiler alert, that's the Shepherd's Inn. So then it says, turn this card over to read more. Right. And this is where it's going to give you the setup. I'll hold this out here. Maybe I'll put up a graphic. It gives you the initial setup. We've already done that. So we've set the horologium and we've set this initial tile. We've got a couple enemies out here. And it says the victory conditions are for us to defeat the threat in time by the end of the scenario. Now, it hasn't defined what that threat is yet. Now, I've looked ahead. I know what the threat is. It's nothing going on right here, but it's a significant threat. The heroes lose if either 3 of the 4 of us are knocked out, or if we just run out of time before we defeat that threat. And there's a little more flavor text here. It says, when you arrive near the inn, a group of drunk and tattered outlaws demand a tax before you may pass. You must defeat them before continuing on your mission. And it's going to give us a few options at the bottom of this card, but like it said, we can't do any of those until we defeat these outlaws.
Right, and speaking of the outlaws, there's 2 different types which are represented by their own set of miniatures. No matter how many miniatures are on the board, each set of miniatures only has one particular token because they act as a unit. So when they activate, all of those figures are going to activate for them. We are representing one of 4 different characters that are in the game. Now, there may be more characters according to the Kickstarter, but I have Valerio. He is a swordsman. And if you look at your player board, you have all kinds of different abilities that you can upgrade through the course of the game. And that is going to be on your skill sheet. This skill sheet is going to break down what each of these abilities do. And as you go through the campaign, you're going to unlock new skills, new abilities, new cards to equip. I have 3 cards in front of me, but I'm a swordsman. I'm really good about melee combat, rushing into combat, shielding up, and being able to use my abilities to kind of help you guys block damage.
He's our tank.
I'm a tank, yes. Who do you have?
Well, I'm Sophia. Scum is what she is.
I wouldn't say that's fitting, Kira.
But that's,
You're not Scum.
That is what it says
I
on
know
here.
it is.
But it's no surprise that she's the character I'm playing with because she's super sneaky. So she's going to be doing a lot of sneaky stuff and hopefully helping out the rest of the team.
Yeah, you've got throwing daggers, and the sneaky part is she's got this cloak that makes it so the enemies are not going to be as aware of you as they are the rest of us.
Right.
Yeah, I am Vincenzo. I am a medic, so I'm going to be able to do some healing. I start with some surgeon's tools and a spell that actually lets me heal other players.
I like your weapon too. It's like an incense thing.
Yeah, it's the
that
sensor that they
knock people.
Yeah,
with.
you know that they swing around to purify the air and also hit
He's
people.
weaponized it.
He has weaponized
fantastic.
it. Correct.
I am Rebecca. I'm sort of the apprentice magic user. I'm going to be using some magical powers. I've got some ranged attacks along with Kira's character. These two are a little different. Ryan's probably not going to be doing as much attacking. Hopefully you're going to be...
I can swing that thing
healing.
around.
So think like we're playing an MMO, and you've
Correct.
got a responsibility, and that is to take care of us.
One thing I should also mention is that on the player board, we have 5 types of stats off to this, the side. These represent things like your ability to move rapidly around the board, how much damage you can natively do to different things. Now, all these things are going to be modified by the weapons that you have, the special skills that you have, and any abilities that you have through the course of the game. And we'll get into each of these as we start to use them.
One more thing that we each have is this. Can anyone remember the name of this?
Perilium.
Perilium.
Yes.
Something like that. This is going to track our threat. This is one of the more interesting things about this game too, because the enemy characters or pieces are going to behave with an AI that's going to revolve around this threat. As we do things, our threat might go up. So if I do a damage to someone, my threat goes up. If I kill someone, it's going to go up even more. If Ryan heals someone, his threat might go up. So basically you can manage each other's threat so that even if, say, Jeremy's right next to a guy, if his threat is low and mine's high and I'm a little further away, that enemy might ignore Jeremy and come after me. And something we're going to have to balance so that we don't die.
And we absolutely want to do that. We want the tank being able to pull that threat in. We also want to have him have threat on our characters because these particular enemies, especially as you get later into the campaign, are going to have their own missions that they're trying to accomplish. And they're always going to head towards those missions unless your threat level is higher than the mission. So you want to have threat, you want to pull them away from it, and you want to combat those as you go. All right. Where are we?
Do you want to start? We'll explain the horologium as we play, but just know that the people who are next to the minute hand here are going to operate and then spend action points and move along. That minute hand's going to move forward until it gets to another quadrant with a token, and then all of the tokens in that quadrant are then going to activate. So it's kind of like an old video game style initiative order.
Yeah, I'll go first because I really can't do a whole lot because my actions, and on your turn you get a number of actions equal to whatever your rapidity is. Mine is 5. But for me to attack, I can just do a barehanded attack for 2 or a weapon attack for 3, and that's using my sword. And all these things have different types of action points you have to use. But I'm right here, and I am 1, 2, 3 spaces away. So if I move 3 spaces, I can't use my sword for 3 because that's 6, and I only have 5 actions. But I could
Punch him?
him, right?
You could punch him. And note that everything is orthogonal in this game.
Yes.
There's no diagonal, so you're going to be moving kind of slow across this
You might as
tile.
well punch him.
Yeah, I think that's my only choice right now. But one thing I need to notice before I started my turn, I've got some skills and some abilities that I can use. One of them is my shield. It says at the beginning of my activation, which is right now, I get to place 1 defense token onto my yes. So that's going to help me block some incoming damage. Also, over here, it says that every time I attack and I do damage, I get to put crowns on here. So if I get to do any damage, I can spend 3 of those crowns to re-roll dice. Can't use it yet.
Kind of like powering up a super.
Pretty much.
Cool.
But one thing I need to know, I moved 3 spaces. So I'm going to take my token and move it 3 spaces. So I'm going to go 1, 2, 3. I still have 2 more activations. Let's punch.
Yeah.
Now, one thing I want to point out here on the horologium
Yep.
is if enemies are far enough away, you actually have to move on your turn. You have to use as many points as you can to get to at least the first enemy. You can't go short of them because that would effectively end up giving you 2 turns in a row before the enemy activates.
All right, so I'm going to roll dice. Now, dice in these games are 8-sided. They're numbered 1 through 8, and there are a number of different icons that can power skills depending on if you roll them. Being that I'm using my bare hands, I don't have any special skills to be able to use, but I'm going to roll these and try to get certain numbers. What am I trying to get? I look up here and see what I'm attacking. I'm attacking the Stradia, and he has a native defense of 6 against melee, and I'm right up against them, so I have to roll 6 or higher. So I roll a 3 and a 4.
Nice.
I fail, so I don't do any damage, but that cost me 2 activations. So again, 1, 2, and that's the cost of using my bare hands. I've used all of my activations for the turn, all 5 of them according to my rapidity. I'm done. I can't do anything else.
So now we can figure out who should go next because there is going to be some strategy here.
Yes.
Ryan, you're not going to be able to do too much attacking.
That's correct, but I do think it might be a good idea for me to go next. Kira is pretty good at attacking, but I have a Sacred Relic item. We all start with a couple different items. This one allows me to bless another character. If I bless Kira, I can give her this token, and all of her next attack, it needs 1 less difficulty. So instead of a 6 for her, it would be a 5. It just maybe helps out a little bit. So, I mean, I can do that because I really can't do a lot else, and that only costs me 2 of my action points.
So 2 action points?
Yep.
For Vincenzo? Is that what your name is?
Yeah, Vincenzo.
Vincenzo. And then she gets the blessing token?
And then she'll take the blessing token.
All right.
And I might actually just stop there.
Yeah.
Because then I can come around and I can do another blessing before Jeremy's next turn.
You can do that.
That is true.
Yeah.
That's a
spend
good.
our action.
That's a good strategy.
All about positioning on this dial.
So you're just staying put.
I don't see a reason to move. There's no range requirement for my blessing. So
Kira, do you want to go ahead and do that, or should I go ahead and do something over on the other side of the board?
Well, I'm thinking about moving over to what would be my
Here?
left, right? If
Yeah.
I was facing that way. And because I have these throwing knives.
You have to be within 3, right?
Yes, and I am.
4. 1 to 4 is your range on
Yeah.
that.
Yeah.
So
Oh.
1, 2,
And I
3.
need, 3 AP for that.
Yeah.
so there'll be 3 AP to
Oh
throw
yeah,
your
you don't
knives?
even have to move if you don't want to.
Don't I have to be orthogonal?
Well,
Oh no.
No.
Not range wise. You don't have to attack orthogonally.
Ah, cool.
You just have to count the range orthogonally.
Let's save that movement then.
All right.
All right. So,
3.
yes.
All right. 1, 2, 3. And that's going to be using your throwing knives.
all right.
Right. Now, I have a couple of other things here. I don't think this is
That's-
going to matter right
nope.
now.
No.
But if on my throwing knives, I have a little moon, which is going to give me +1 damage.
If you roll a moon. So right now you're going to roll 3 dice according to your ability.
And what did the blessing do again?
It gives the -1 difficulty. So
Right,
whatever
so-
the difficulty number would be, it's 1 less.
So you're going up against a straight out just like I did, but this time instead of a 6, you only have to hit 5s.
Nice.
yeah.
Because of your blessing. So
Come on,
roll
5s
better
or
than
higher.
2.
2.
Oh, nice.
No moons, though.
No
so
moons.
2 and no moons, so that's 2 damage to him.
Nice.
So we're going to take these damage tokens and just place them right next to him. Now, each of these different miniatures here has 3 damage for the sake of this particular campaign.
Because they're drunk.
Because they're drunk, right? So our goal is to kill all these, and actually you did some damage. So
That's not bad at all.
a good thing.
So you've got 2 more. Is there anything else you can do with 2?
just move, really.
I guess you could aim.
I could aim. Yeah, with my last 2, I can gain an advantage token, and the advantage token basically is going to give me
An extra
an
die.
extra die the next time I activate. So
But if you don't, you'll get to attack sooner. So that's the
That's true.
that's the trick of it.
That's true.
So it's up to you. Because everything matters with this. As soon as David gets done taking his activation, it's going to move up to this character, and he's going to
Right.
I
attack.
kind of like that idea.
I do too. I think I'll stay put.
All right,
right.
so it's up to me.
That's
I
you.
think I'm going to stay put. I've got Arcane Bolt here, which has a range of 1 to 5.
Yep.
It's going to take 3 actions, so I have 2 to play with. And I have something called Concentration, which costs 1 action. And this is place a reroll token on a spell. You can place only 1 reroll token on a single spell. So I'm going to use 1 action to get a reroll token and place it on my Arcane Bolt. And then I'm going to spend 3 to cast Arcane Bolt
Nice.
against this Stradia.
You want to go? I mean, I don't want to make decisions here.
1, 2, 3, 4.
Oh, you can't get there?
I can't get there.
Ah,
I
so
can't
that's
get
kill
there.
1.
So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 to
Yep.
him. So mine uses the mind, and I'm going to be rolling 4 dice. Could I get another
Nice.
So
die?
did you use one already to do
I did.
something? So another 3. 1, 2, 3.
Yeah. So I've got to get against his mind. The Stradiat's mind is only 5.
Weak.
Nice.
So I've got to get 5s or higher. Let's see what I get here.
Oh, wow, 2.
8, 7, and a 1. And the 1's going to come into play. So the way this works is with the Arcane Bolt, I have to get at least 2 successes for it to do damage. It's not going to do damage per success. So in this case, the 7 and the 8 qualify for my 2 successes. So that's necessarily going to do 2 damage to him.
Okay.
Then, in addition to that, I have a moon here that says, if successful, does an additional damage.
Nice.
So he's been knocked out. I'm sorry, Jeremy, I just took him out
No,
in front of you.
that's fine.
You scared him off.
It's a
That's what
cooperative
happened.
game.
And I didn't have to use my reroll token, which is nice.
But you got him out of the way so that Jeremy can get
correct.
the next guy.
Yeah, we're good.
All right.
And then, so my white power that uses crowns is called the Black Rose Curse. And if you're fans of this publisher, you'll understand where that comes from. It says gain a crown every time you use a spell with success. So I'm going to use this die here and just mark that I've got 1 crown.
Nice.
Once I get 4, I'm going to be able to do a very special attack.
And is it 1 per damage?
No, just
1
his
for
is
doing
1 per
damage?
attack.
Mine was 1
spell.
per successful spell.
Yeah.
Okay, mine is 1 every time you inflict damage to an enemy, so I would have gotten 1 as well.
Yeah, there you go.
All right, so we've all now taken our moves. It's time to move that quadrant forward 1 step. Now, in that process, we each also gained some threat. Kira got 1 threat because she did damage. David got 2 because not only did he do damage, but he also killed somebody.
Yeah.
So now it's their turn to activate, and lo and behold, we only have one of these Stradiots that is located by this token. That means this is the only guy that's going to activate, which is great for us. Now, he has his own range that he's trying to attack in. In this case, it is 3. So he's going to look around him 3 steps. There's no one in range. In fact, Kira's only 2 steps away because of her cloak here. It hides her.
Oh, yeah.
So they're going to move towards the person with the most threat, this guy. So he's going to move towards you, and he's going to move as many steps as he can in order to activate.
So again, orthogonally, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
He's going to gain 5 AP, or spend 5 AP.
Yep.
Yep.
Now, why did we move him 5? Well, on here, he has 5 rapidity. And basically, that's his ability to use actions. He's going to move as far as he can. He'll try to attack if he can, but it costs him 3. So he wasn't in range to do any damage anyway. So they are done. Now it's going to progress another step forward. So now we're at 2 o'clock, and we're going to see something very special happen here. We have enemies in this location, and we have us in this location. First thing you need to look at is the rapidity of both of these. In this case, we have these guys here who have 4. What is this character that's sitting
That
there?
would be me, and I have 5.
So
All right.
you're going to go first.
Nice.
Yeah.
Want to attack him?
In the case of a tie, it would have been the enemy.
Yeah.
So
Correct.
thankfully,
Yeah.
this worked out even better than you planned.
I don't want to attack him because I will not be able to hurt him. Really, I won't even be able to get to him. I could maybe attack this guy that's on David.
That's not a bad idea. Just get rid of him.
He's just got 1 hit point. You
Can
hit
you
him
do
with your
1 damage?
incense.
Yeah, I think I'm gonna. So
Ding.
I have 5 total to spend. So I'm definitely gonna spend 1 because I need to move into position.
All right.
And then my incense costs 3. So that means I won't be able to bless somebody if I do this.
That's fine.
Which is probably okay.
Yep.
So I'll spend 3. And sure, let's go ahead and swing this censer.
How many are you rolling?
This is a melee attack or a strength attack, which for me is 3. So I'm only going to get 3 dice.
Okay.
And I need to hit a 6 for this. Is that correct?
That is, you are attacking this guy here. He's a 6.
Now, mine is not like David's. I don't need a threshold of successes. Every success I get is a damage.
All right.
So if I can just roll 1 6,
You got it.
I got it.
Seven.
I got a
Yay.
7. No moons. This would do something special if it had moons. Now, something that's not going to happen right now, but would, is this attack would also stun a character. Except in this case, they are eliminated. So,
Right.
But you do get 2 threat.
I
1
do
for
get 2
doing
threat,
damage
so-
and 2 for killing.
you know what?
And I
I can heal
believe-
myself.
I need
It's
to give
fine.
this back to you, correct?
You just discard it after you use
Okay.
it.
All right. It's their turn.
Yes, it's going to be. You want to say this name?
I don't even want to pronounce that name.
This
it's
one-
the guy with his rifle and his halberd.
Harquebusier.
Yeah, that
Sounds
is
about right.
Yeah, that's
Sounds
great.
good. I tried to put a
count
little
it.
French on the end of it there.
Well, I guess if I don't know if we said this, but the game does take place in kind of like a fictionalized Italy,
Yes.
so it does make sense.
For sure. So there's 2 of those guys. Nothing has happened to them. And they've got what stats, Jeremy?
They are within 7.
So they're within range.
Yeah, but we have 2 guys with highest threat. So we're going to decide amongst ourselves who they want to move towards. Do they want to move towards Ryan or David?
Well,
and we'll pick this guy first. It doesn't matter which one of these 2 we activate first because they're both going to activate.
Well, this guy will probably take Ryan because he's closer
Yep.
and tied with me.
Okay.
And he can only move now. See, he's only going to move close enough to attack,
Which
and
he
they have
already
a
is.
2
He's
to
in
6.
range.
So he's within range to shoot at.
He is
yeah.
absolutely
Mr.
going to
Incense over
shoot you
here.
right
He
now.
is not. You know what? I have my surgeon's bag, so I'm ready to take the hit.
Okay, so here's how this works. Number 1, he has to be 3 actions in order to use his rifle to shoot you, which
we're
he
gonna
does.
give him 3
he has to be
actions.
within 2 to 6. He's going to do 2 damage. Now, he doesn't roll any dice in this. You're going to roll defensive dice against him. You're trying to block 2 damage to him.
That's correct.
And you have to roll 7s or higher to block that damage.
And is there a special? Which stat am I referring to?
Your
With
fist.
that? It's
So you're
fist,
going to roll the
correct?
number of dice that's on
3
the
dice.
dice.
3. So I need some 7s here,
You do need some 7s.
and I got 2.
Nice.
Ryan.
We're rolling great today, Ryan.
Ryan.
You got
About
2.
time.
That defended both of the damage coming in there, so you're good.
Like I'm swinging my sensor so fast that it just deflects all projectiles.
Is that what the incense is called?
Yeah, so that's what the thing is that they carry their instance in.
Nice. So a couple things also happen with this particular enemy. Number 1, he has Pierce and Reload. Pierce would go through enemy defenses. Now, I have a shield on me, which would actually go through that shield, but I'm not Ryan. And number 2, he gets 2 reload tokens on him, which are signified by these tokens here. That means at the start of his next activation, he has to spend 2 of his actions to get rid of each token, which means his whole next turn is going to be spent just reloading his weapon.
Oh, nice.
So it's not like a reprieve for us, basically.
Those old.
But we're not done yet because we have this guy over here also attacking.
Yeah.
Yeah, now he is probably just going to shoot.
He's range is 6.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
We're
1,
tied.
2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
We can
amongst ourselves.
decide. So, did you take any damage there?
No.
He didn't.
What's your hit points?
5.
5.
You guys both have 5.
We're both at 5. I'll take
What is
it.
what is your fist?
Oh,
Your
4.
strength.
That's good.
So you have a.
No, your first.
Oh, no,
one.
it's 1.
You want
So
to
that
roll.
I will roll because I have a better
You
chance.
want to roll.
I guess
And you're rolling well anyway.
well,
Whoa,
we'll see.
1 fist.
Don't
That's
jinx
not-
it.
Yeah, right. This is when I roll all 1s. Nope, none. So I'll take 2 damage
You
there.
take 2 damage. Again, he has to reload.
But it's not bad
we'll
because
put those
2
on
damage
him.
is not the end of the world. Can you hand me 2 damage tokens,
I
Jeremy?
can. I think they're double-sided. They are.
Perfect.
All right, so that signifies their turn, and they each spent 3 actions.
Yep.
Did we move them forward 3?
did.
Yep.
Okay.
Now we move the horologium up,
We're at
and
3
it's going to
o'clock.
be to
Oof.
We're at 12.
12:15
15.
is all we're at.
12:15.
Thank God.
Okay.
All right, so we're going to pause right there. We're going to continue these battles, and then we're going to come back to show you what happens next. All right, everyone, welcome back. We have progressed past that first set of enemies. We killed all 4 of them, and in the process, we got some loot, which we didn't show you on
Yeah.
camera, but each one of those dropped a card. We got 2 Elementum and 2 Pecunias, and these go into a loot pile. We don't know what's on the other side. In fact, there are some ways to learn as you progress through the game, but for now, they sit off to the side. If we beat this mission, we get all those cards. If we lose the mission, you're always going to progress forward, but you only get half of the cards there. So there's some decisions to be made on which cards you wish to keep. All right, so now some other things have happened as well. We have spent enough actions to get Ryan into the inn. Kira's sitting outside of it. David's explored a new area, which we'll read in just a moment. And I'm sitting over here in the corner, but we've actually gone through the entire first hour of 4 hours to get through this particular mission. Remember, we have to meet the threat or kill the threat before we get to 4 hours or before 3 of us get knocked out.
Yeah, so before Jeremy and Kira take their turns,
Yep.
I will bring you up to speed on what I've done over here because I've opened up a whole new area. It's called the Shack. It says, near the inn, almost hidden by the thick plants of the undergrowth, you find a dilapidated house. It seems abandoned. You knock, but no one answers. You then try to force the door open and find that it is unlocked. So even though it sounds like I'm up next to the house, I still have to spend some of my units to get over there. And I had just got in here, so my turn is over. So the shack is where I'm going to be going next.
So now it is Kira and I sitting at 12 o'clock. I'll take my action first, and I am over there in the corner. And according to the setup card, I have to spend 1 of my time? Yes.
Yeah.
Move me forward 1 to look at card number 8.
What's
All right.
card 8 say?
The Wounded Soldiers. That doesn't sound good.
No.
Arriving at the edge of the woods, 2 trembling and battered guards beg you to stop and help. A huge creature, never seen before, is wreaking havoc on the farms in the area, says the first breathless soldier. We're alive by a miracle. He looked like a crazy bull, comments the other. Sounds like a minotaur.
Maybe.
Does sound like a minotaur.
The valiant soldiers receive your help and limp back to the shepherd's inn. Before leaving, he says, take care entering the lands to the north. Should only be done at great peril. Think twice before entering. We gain 4 Papolino. That's the currency of the game.
It is the currency.
So we don't have anything to mark that, but
We
you
have
use
4
that die right there, maybe?
Yeah.
We'll use that to
and
mark it.
It's kind of a group fund.
Yeah.
And it says at the bottom in big, bold red text, warning, only continue if you feel very confident revealing card 13, or continue exploring.
I'm not confident.
I don't feel confident either.
Maybe not. I mean, it
So-
could just be a crazy bull.
That crazy giant bull that I've seen the miniature to.
Oh my.
That's true.
I don't want to fight that yet. So I have 4 more actions.
me to just move you
I'm gonna
back
go
around
the
here?
yeah. Move me 4 spaces
1, 2, 3, 4.
and move me 4 on
1, 2, 3, 4.
that. All right, now
Kira.
Kira is in the inn, and
Well,
that's
about to
represent-
be.
Well, yes, you have
Got
to
to
spend
spend 2 to move
Is that
into
what you
the
spent?
end. Yep.
And now she has access to this awesome card. This is, what would you call it, like a point and click?
Kind of
or
a
two-
point and click adventure. It feels like one of those old graphic adventures.
Yeah, on there is a number of different people that we can interact with, and we'll show that on screen. But who do you want to interact with?
Well, and actually, Ryan is the one who opened that up, and we had a nice little
Yeah, well,
story
oh, read the
Set
story.
the scene,
ahead of time, so I've
please.
got that for you here. So upon entering the inn, our entrance causes all conversation to cease for a few seconds, and then resume as if nothing had happened. The innkeeper welcomes you, inviting you to sit down. Your attention is diverted from the host by a solitary man sitting in front of the fireplace, and also by loud noises coming from the table with a group of visibly drunk dice players.
Sounds like us.
I feel like dice is gambling. I'm not really prepared
We
to
just
gamble.
got the 4 money.
Yeah, I don't want to
so
lose
don't-
it yet. So I think I'll go talk to the old man.
The old man is card number 6. It's going to cost you 2 more time.
1, 2.
You have 1 time
You've
left.
got 1 time left.
All right. By the burning fireplace, sitting under the weight of his age, an old man smokes a pipe. When you approach, a toothless smile greets you. If you have the heart to offer this poor old man a drink, I can tell you an interesting story. So, offered a drink will cost me a time, a Papolino, and a mind test.
Oh. By the way, I thought the old man was here when you did that voice. Like
It was pretty
you
epic.
teleported me to the inn.
If I had charm, it'd give me a reroll, which I do not.
What do we have to meet on that
don't either.
mind test?
It
2?
looks like 2, yeah.
What do you roll for mind?
I roll 1.
Oh.
Yeah, let's
Oh,
skip it. Can you do
that's
that
not-
maybe on your turn?
Yeah, I have. My mind is 3.
That's
So
better.
Yeah, you
That's
probably
definitely
you can't even
better.
meet. the
I'm going to
requirements.
save my action point
Yeah.
then.
Save
and
the
just
drink, save the Papolino.
I'm just going to hang out here.
All right,
All
so we're gonna scoot up to there.
well, it's my go. If you don't mind if I
Yeah,
go.
no,
Let's-
absolutely.
Sure,
I don't
I'll
want
join
to
you.
wander around right here
Let's,
alone.
but we have to buy the guy the drink first, regardless if it succeeds
But
or
it's gonna
fails.
cost you 2 to interact with him again, right? So you gotta spend the two time from the card to interact with him,
Yep.
and then 1 to try doing the thing.
Yep. So let's do it.
So we spent
Oh.
the money. Take that down to 3.
No.
And you
uh-oh.
need to get 2 successes.
And there's nothing that modifies this, so I just need a 5.
2 5s.
I need 2 5s.
All right, roll it out here.
And I got an 8 and a 6.
6.
So that is
Nice.
2
That is
successes.
enough.
That's enough. So that's exciting. So I get to read the upside down text below.
You have to read it upside down.
A witch, familiar with experimenting with alchemical herbs and stones, lives not far from here. She has stolen my youth. Be careful, she never strays from her hovel.
Oh boy.
But maybe you will have time to recover a potion of long life for me. If you do,
For me.
I will reward you with the design of a very special item. The heroes gain achievement 5. We have this deck here of achievement cards, so I'm going to find achievement 5. And this will be a signifier for later. I'm going to put that in front of me.
All right.
All right. Is that all your actions?
That was 3 of my actions. I have 2 more.
You have the people
I
playing.
really don't. Kira was right. I don't think gambling is the way to go.
Well, the other thing is, you guys could go ahead and leave if you don't want to waste time in the inn.
Well, I've got 2, so I might as well. Let's just see what that other person
Talk
in
to
there is.
Mr. Fancy Pants over there.
Yeah,
Fancy
let's
Pants?
at least talk to him, and then
2 more.
if somebody wants to do this, they can. Alfio Chieto. With a worried face, Alfio Chieto, the innkeeper, invites you to sit down at the counter. He brings you the mugs of beer you ordered and makes you pay the bill up front. Lose 1 Popolino for each hero in the inn. So that's 2 of us.
We have 1 left now.
So we're down to $1.
Maybe we should have gone gambling.
As he pours you a drink, he tells you that he is very worried about rumors of a beast in the nearby woods.
We've heard.
Minotaur.
If he doesn't end up destroying my business, all those cowards who no longer come for fear of it will succeed in ruining my inn. He tells you that if you wish to deal with it, it will be best for you to get calming incense to stun the creature. He scribbles out a recipe to make it, but you will need the right ingredients. Moon dust powder. Gain achievement 6.
Nice.
All right.
This is a very rare ingredient. I don't know where to look for it, but if you see it, you will easily recognize it. Its powder seems to shine. So we have 6. If we also get 8, we can discard both of them to get achievement 7.
Nice.
We're making some stuff.
We have 6, we have 5 and 6, but we don't have 8. So we'll just set this off to the side.
A little alchemy.
That is it for me. That is all of my actions.
So it's going to be me. Now, this may sound crazy, but I think I'm going to go ahead and go to the door. How many spaces is it to the
does
door?
sound
1,
crazy.
2, 3. My backwards counting is correct.
And then it's going to cost me
1, 2, 3.
1 action to open the door. I'm going to go ahead and do
4.
it.
Knock, knock. Who's there?
I already
Rich.
knocked. It just pushed open. So this is what happens. Oh, it's just the inside of the shack. So card 9 shows the inside of the shack here.
So no angry witch inside, huh?
So I'm inside
Yet.
there.
All right. A
wooden-
wardrobe.
Yeah.
What do you think? Chest or cabinet?
Witches keep important stuff in cabinets.
Yes, I agree.
All right, I'll go 10. So card
where
10.
Where did you get that from? Witches and cabinets.
He knows a lot of
That's where
witches.
they keep all their potions.
She's probably
Oh, I'm
hiding
sorry.
inside.
It's the closet is what it's
Oh.
called.
Oh, okay.
The only location in the shack worthy of attention,
Look at
Ryan,
that.
is the bedroom. Oh, sorry. Inside the cramped room, a large closet immediately catches your eye. A sturdy metal bar held in place by 2 padlocks seemed to be protecting something precious in the closet. A hero can try to open the locker locks successfully passing one of the following tests. I can try to pick the locks. I'm not going to be able to do any of this because I have no action points left. But 2, to do a test with my rapidity. And if I have the lock pick, it's an automatic success.
Well, I do have the lockpick because the old man gave me achievement 5 at the bar, which achievement 5 is a lockpick. So
Well,
that,
you gotta-
it's all coming together.
He
gotta
wants you
get
to break
over
into
here.
her stuff.
He does want me to break into
Or
her
I
stuff.
can force the closet, which she's not going to have a strong time doing because she's got
I need
one
to be in there.
fist. So that's my situation here. I can't do either of those things because I don't have the actions left, but we'll have this out and ready to go.
Well, I can bring the lockpick in and
The good
see what
news
we can
is
do.
the witch isn't in here,
Yet.
at least not yet.
Yeah, I don't know. So that's going to move all the way towards
There we
you
go.
once again.
Back to Kira.
Yeah, so Kira, you're in there. I think we're done in the end.
Unless
What
you
I'm
want to gamble
out.
with our one last dollar.
You're out.
Unless we want more Popolino.
No.
So how many does it cost to exit?
1.
1.
So
one.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5. for you.
Perfect.
And now my turn. Look at me. I'm so far behind, but I did get us money. 1, 2, 3, 4, and we can't be in the same space. So
No.
you blocked my progress. Just 4 for me.
All right, we're wasting this hour, that's for sure.
That's the thing, man. You gotta be fast.
Yeah,
Be
this is
on
the
it.
interesting thing is like every one of those steps just feels like, oh man, we are burning so much
I'm going to
time.
have to leave the inn as well,
It is a long journey.
which will cost me 1.
All right. So 1,
And I can only move 2 more.
2, 3.
Okay, so it's back to me, and I'll give this a good try, and then we're gonna break again and see what happens after that.
You gonna break it?
No, I'm definitely. No, I
Ryan's
can't.
not
There's
with
no
you
way.
yet.
I need to get 3 successes to do that.
You only
You can
roll
check
1.
the chest, though.
I can do this
Pick it.
for 2 actions. I can try to pick it,
You get to roll 5 though.
and
It's
I'm
not
rolling
bad.
for my rapidity. That isn't bad.
It isn't bad.
Can I have?
You have 2. Can you move him forward 2 spaces?
Yep.
He's going to attempt.
And I need 3 successes, which is just going to be 5s or higher.
1, 2.
2.
Oh, I do. Oh, no, that's for my arcane
You could try it
bolt.
again. It only costs you 2 actions.
I am going to try it again.
2 more.
2 more
2 more.
actions. All right, here we go. I'm going to...
This is going to be it. 1, 2, 3.
Nice!
Yay!
3. I picked the lock. Okay, success. Read the upside down text below. I'm going to read it right side up. Opening the closet, you find many useful ingredients, in addition to the rare moon dust.
Ooh, we just found out about
I
that.
heard about that. Suddenly, you hear Suddenly,
He's
you hear
back.
strange noises outside the shack.
Oh no.
The party adds to the loot 1 belladonna. Oh, that's a extra amount of money. 2 mandrake, which is going to be in here.
Nice.
Oh, actually, the belladonna might be in there too, and 1 philosopher's stone. Wow, that was a lot of stuff.
Listen, these mandrakes,
We were robbing this witch blind.
I was waiting for us to find some because I can actually use the mandrakes with my surgeon's bag to boost my ability to heal people, which is nice.
nice.
Oh,
So
very
these are
cool.
going to add to our loot.
It says the party gains achievement 8,
Nice.
which is what we were looking for, right?
I think so.
Ryan, you're going to be the achievement guy.
That is, yep, that's the one.
If the
Yep.
party has achievements 6 and 8,
Yep.
we can
We do.
discard them to get 7. So we now have
A bomb. A
the
sulfuric
sulfuric
incense.
incense.
Which is perfect for you, Ryan.
We'll wave that at the Minotaur and put it right to sleep.
Not sure what that's going to do, but it sounds interesting. Take 12.
Oh boy.
Mission card 12. This seems
boy.
ominous.
Oh, boy.
Without revealing it.
Oh,
Reveal it as soon as the hero leaves 9. I'm going to just stay here
You're
for
right.
now,
Yeah,
I think.
we'll finish it.
I'm going to take a nap. Well, that's all my actions anyway. I don't think I'm going to leave 9 because I do think bad things are going to happen.
You'd like us to
And I
come-
think I'd rather you guys be nearby.
Yeah,
you
for
could-
sure.
you have one left, correct? If you wanted to look at that chest.
Oh.
I think you found the good stuff.
I don't want to waste any more
Oh,
time.
okay.
I'm going to save that so we can leave the house. So we're going to break there. We're going to leave this and probably, I'm guessing, get into a fight. We're not even close yet to the finish. Spoiler alert, we know there's another area. Jeremy was going to go there over here. It's also connected here based on the card we have. I think that's where we're going to find Mr. Minotaur.
Yeah, I think so.
So we're going to go through probably what we imagine is another encounter here with, I don't know, what do you think, a witch?
Probably a
gotta
one.
be a witch.
Maybe.
And if we survive that, we're going to go on to maybe try to take on a Minotaur, I guess,
we'll
or
see.
at least a crazy bull. We're going to do all of that, and then join us back here, and we'll tell you everything that happened.
All right, everyone, welcome back. We have just finished this scenario, and we won. I'll just let you guys know, but let's give you a blow-by-blow on what happened. We made it out of the inn, obviously.
Yeah.
And then David gave us the choice of coming out of this hut or staying in there forever. He came out, and it spawned a witch and another villain.
Yeah, and we took care of those guys in pretty short order.
Yeah.
They weren't terribly strong. It was a witch and another, what is it called?
Spradiata, something like that.
One of the guys from the first tile. And I was right next to that guy. I did a fair amount of damage at first. And then you guys, you kind of chipped away at the witch. And then Kira
Finish her off.
finished her off. Ryan, did you
Do anything?
I did.
bless me when I sneezed?
I did bless everyone.
Hey, you were
I did.
healing,
I
too.
healed you,
Yes,
blessed you. Yeah,
he
we
did. I don't mean to be...
We had taken some damage by this point. We've taken, and by the end of the game, we took some damage as well. But that's mostly what this character does. Is kind of stands back and blesses. Which
Yeah, I had 3 damage and I was bleeding at the time. So if I'd bled out a little bit more or taken even another hit of damage, I would have been knocked out, which wouldn't have been a good thing.
Well, we got some stuff from the witch's closet, which, you know, she didn't mind us taking,
Yeah, we got a ton of loot.
Yeah.
Now, this is just a one-off mission for us, so we won't be able to do anything with this loot. But if you're playing the real game, you would be able
Yeah.
to.
Well, in addition to that, we were able to create something to help us
Yeah, what was that?
Yeah,
with the bull.
we made the soporific incense, which was great because we had to fight the Minotaur like right after the witch.
Yeah.
But this incense made it so that every successful damage dealt to the Minotaur also reduced its armor or its 2-hit number. So the first time we got a hit, we were able to then subsequently do better hits.
Yeah, and he's a pretty big guy. Number one, he's a giant miniature, but he also has a lot of movement, so he's going to activate before anyone else at 6. He has 10 health, and then he has a native 6 melee like shield, and then 4 against mental damage. So
His attack could be rough.
it could be rough.
He
but
did one of those against me, right?
We were able to finish him off fairly
Yeah.
quickly as well.
Since we had the incense,
This guy.
it would have
Yeah.
been a lot harder without it.
Well,
for
that's
sure.
the great thing too. Like all of our characters have, you know, a specific trait. My guy is just good at melee damage. I have a native 4, so I can go in there with just bare hands if I need
Yeah.
to, and really pummel
you
him if
did.
I wanted to. Which I had to at that point because I didn't have any extra movement to be able to do it, or any activations in order to do that. So we have this giant stack now of stuff that we could use, but we also have a story that we want to read because we achieved victory,
Oh,
and
yeah,
that was
yeah.
the goal. The victory said the fight was brutal, but you got the better of the strange creature, managing to put it out in the fight. You still cannot comprehend what you've seen. It will be hard to make yourself believe it actually happened, let alone convince the church. So we don't know what that means, but it's part of the story. And then it told us to roll dice according to our rapidity or our speed and add up the successes for all of us, which led us to another thing that we were supposed to read in what is called the Book of Stories. We don't have the Book of Stories, but we were supposed to read 130 from that. Now, as you know, with most of these games, there's multiple progression paths. If we had done better with our roll, we would have got a reward from the church and read from 145 instead of 130. If we were defeated, we would have had to have gone to this card, which has another thing that you have to read. So there are multiple paths, and the cool thing about this game is that, I already mentioned it, you play 26 missions and there's 6 endings, but if you fail in a mission, you don't replay it. You just move on from there. And all of the loot that you acquired, if we succeed, we gain all of this. If we fail, we pick half of it and keep that. So you're always progressing in the game. You're always moving forward. You're always getting new pieces of equipment. You're always going to the market afterwards and interacting with that market, using that loot to buy new pieces of equipment and leveling up your people, because each of us also got an experience at the end of that. Not sure how that works, but I imagine it's moving these different parameters up so you can move faster, maybe you have more melee damage and so forth.
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot that we didn't even get a taste of when in our play here today, because you're not only going to unlock and get a bunch of different skills, but there's actually 2 different schools that you can follow at a certain point with each character. I can become an enchantress or a chronomancer. When you do that, you're going to actually put in a new card here that just has those abilities as well.
Nice.
So it's going to give you a lot of different flavor and choices throughout the entire sort of campaign.
Right.
Yeah, and what's interesting about this and this scenario specifically is even though this was an introduction, we still didn't even do everything. In fact, we did make the incense, which was super nice, but we
Yes.
didn't find the long-lasting potion that the
No.
old man asked us to get. And I'm guessing it was in the chest, but you never really know what kind of complications are going to come with that. And we only have a certain amount of time. And we actually, this should have been
How
moved
did
over
we
to
do
3.
on time?
So we were pretty close to 4, actually.
Oh, really?
Yeah, we were pretty close to 4.
Whoa, that was... We only had 2
Yeah.
units of time left. I didn't realize we were that close to
Well,
it.
I can tell you that long-lasting life potion was in here, and it
Yeah.
actually led to a different thing. So,
Yeah, see?
again,
Oh.
that's how those stories kind of work.
Yeah, so there's, a lot that's going to happen. And I imagine that even if you play through, I don't know, 26, you said?
26 missions.
And you could go back and play those same 26 and probably get a very different story.
Yeah, I'm not even sure how this one compares to sort of the length of a lot of those missions. I'm guessing they probably gave us something that's somewhat on par, at least with some of the first missions that
Yeah.
you go undertake, but some of them could probably get even more complicated
sure.
than this. They all come in their own envelope.
If they went easy on us with this guy, I don't know what's coming next.
You know what, though? His bark was worse than his bite,
Oh,
for sure.
nice pun there.
I mean, we kind of...
By bark, he means he's got bark hands
does.
going on. These miniatures are amazing, by the way. I know that Ludus Magnus
Yeah.
does really good miniatures. These, though, and if you see pictures that we'll probably throw up of painted miniatures, like, they're unbelievable. They're
are.
really, really well produced. So anyway, that is Nova Aetas Renaissance, a brand new game on Kickstarter right now. If you have any questions about the game, please make them in the comments below. And we'll see you guys next time.
Bye-bye.